Hello, this is section 4.4, Factoring Trinomials. Factoring trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1. Before we get started, let's go in and identify the location of our box, which is our diamond. So, this is when we say top, this is the place we refer to. Bottom, left, and right. Okay, so we're going to be factoring this trinomial using either we call it AC method or diamond method. I'm going to refer to be AC method. First, before you begin, make sure you identify the location for A, B, and C. Let's start with number 1. X squared plus 10x plus 16. Let's identify our A, B, and C. A is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is the coefficient of x, plus 10. C is 16. Once you identified A, B, C, the very top is the product of A times C. The bottom is just B. A times C is 1 times 16 is 16, and B is 10. Now we need to find the left and right. These are the factors that we're seeking for. To get the left and the right, we have to find two numbers that the product is 16, which is your AC, and the sum would be B, which is 10. Let's find two numbers that the product is 16 and the sum is 10. All right, let's take the multiple of 16. 1 times 16 is 16, but the sum is not a 10. Let's move to the next one. 2 times 8 is 16, and the sum of 2 times 8 is 10. We have found our factors. Okay, so once you find them, you put the left and the right. So the factor of the trinomial is x plus 2 and x plus 8. This is how you factor a trinomial when a is 1. Similarly, let's look at example number 2. The very beginning, we have to look and identify our A, B, and C. Our A here is 1, our B is negative 12, and our C is 35. Let's fill in our box. The top is AC. That would be 35. The bottom is B. That would be negative 12. So now we try to find the left and the right box. To do that, we have to look for two numbers that when we multiply, that will give us 35, which is your top spot, and the bottom, which is the sum. The same two numbers, when you take the sum, that's equal to negative 12. Here's the tip. When the product is equal to positive numbers and the sum equal to the negative numbers, that means both of your factors must be negative. Let's try to find the multiple of 35. Let's try 7, 5, and 7. But remember, for the sum to be negative, that means both of your factors are negative. Let's check. Negative 5 times negative 7 is that 35? Yes. Negative 5 plus negative 7, will that give us negative 12? The answer is yes. Now we have found our factors, which is negative 5 and negative 7. So the factor of this trinomial is x minus 5 and minus 7. These are the factors of that trinomial. Let's practice one more time. Let's look at number 3. On number 3, before you begin to factor, you have to look for the GCF. So we have 5x cubed minus 30x squared minus 35x. Look at all the terms and identify the GCF. Looking at your numbers, your GCF is 5 and also x. If we factor 5x out of the first term, we would have x squared minus 6x minus 7. Let's check. 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times negative 6x is negative 30x squared. 5x times negative 7 is negative 35x. So therefore our factoring is correct. Now we have to continue to factor this trinomial. Once again, before we begin, let's identify our A, B, and C. A is 1, B is negative 6, and C is negative 7. The top would be A times C. The bottom is your B, so A times C is negative 7. B is negative 6. Now we need to find the left and the right, which is find two numbers that the product will give us negative 7 and the sum give us negative 6. The tip here is when you have product and the product is negative, that means one of your factors is positive and one of them is negative. Yet when the result of the sum is negative, that means the larger factor is negative. So let's try 1 and 7. 1 and 7. Well, we know for this to be negative 7, that means one of the factors got to be negative. Looking at the sum, it says the larger one is negative. Let's try. So 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. Check. 1 plus a negative 7, that gives us a negative 6. Check. So therefore we have found our factors. They are 1 and negative 7. Now let's write down all our factors. 5x, that was the first one we factor out. Then we factor the trinomial, and the factors are x plus 1 and x minus 7. Now you have found the factors of number 3. I hope this helped.